3 things I wish I knew before I started my own small business. Number 1, you will feel overwhelmed and there will be times where you want to give up. And it's okay to have bad days, you just gotta keep going. Number 2, you shouldn't lower your prices just because people tell you to, or because others are offering a lower price. Everyone's costs are different. Some people pay for shipping and some people don't. Everything is different for everyone. And number 3, make sure you take your time to set up your policies and make them as detailed as possible. And also make sure that you take time on how to fight chargebacks. It does take a little bit of a research and it might take a little bit more time, but knowledge is power. And hopefully this never happens to you, but if it does, you will feel much more confident in fighting those scammers.
Have you been holding off on a business idea because you simply don't know where to start? Trust me, we've all been there, and I'm here to help you. It's not complicated at all, and it only takes 4 simple steps to get started. Just 4. So, step number 1, you're going to want to make sure that you have a business idea. So this can be a hobby or a skill set that you have that you want to create a business for. Step number 2, you're going to need to register your business. So to do this, you need to determine the legal entity of your business. It could be a LLC, S Corp, sole proprietorship, C Corp, whatever it is, determine the legal entity of it as well as the business name. To ensure that the business name is not already registered, you need to visit sites like GoDaddy.com or any other domain developer just to check to make sure that no one else has the name that you're registering for. From there, you're going to go to your state's Secretary of State and register for an Articles of Incorporation or Articles of Organization, depending on what the legal entity of your business is. Step 3, you're going to want to register your business for an Employer Identification Number, an EIN. After you've received confirmation from your Secretary of State with your Articles of Incorporation, you're going to want to use that information and apply for your EIN number. This is a 9-digit code that works as a social security number for your business. After you've obtained both documents, the EIN and the Articles of Incorporation, you're going to want to go to your trusted bank and open up a business checking and savings account. And just like that, you've taken the first steps to starting your business. Follow for more tips and tricks on how to grow a successful business.
5 things I learned as a small biz owner. 1. You have to stay consistent in order to grow. 2. You shouldn't lower your prices only because people tell you to. 3. SEO is key. 4. Things can get very overwhelming, and that's okay. 5. Have fun with creating content.
What business could you start with $2,000? It's a good question. I recommend staying away from dropshipping in this day and age because of advertising costs. The rising advertising costs really fuck with dropshipping right now. But to be honest, $2,000, you could start an Amazon brand. You could even start your own private labeled brand. It really depends on the minimum order quantity of the product that you're trying to start. Obviously, if you're trying to sell some sort of electrical equipment, it's not going to be cheap. You're looking at maybe 200 to 300 units at $20 to $30 per unit. And so that's already blown your budget. But if you're looking at a smaller product, maybe some sort of accessory, some sort of gimmick, you're able to start a business like that. But don't forget, you also have the different types of branding costs. If you don't know how to do logos yourself, you have to pay for it. And that's a very, very clear thing when it comes to bootstrapped business, is if you don't have the skill set, you're paying money for it, which digs into your budget. So it does pay to learn. And I say this all the time, is if you can't afford to spend money to save time, you spend the time to learn so you can save money. And so with $2,000, most importantly, make sure you can find a product with a low minimum order quantity for you to test the market. And that way, even if it does fail, even if it does fuck up, you don't have boxes and boxes and boxes in your garage. You have a couple of 100 products, which you can just take to the market or flog it off on Facebook Marketplace. But number 1, get your Shopify set up. It'll probably cost you $50 to $100. Get your domains, another $50 to $100. If you need to register your business in Australia, it's about $800 to register your business. So you're already down $1,000 there. You have $1,000 left for marketing and product. There really isn't much to do. I genuinely recommend, if you can push it up to $5,000, push it up to 5. If you desperately only have 2, we need to find a business that allows you to enter at a much lower price point. And there really isn't too much available in this day and age. besides service-based businesses, because all you need is a website, a social media, and you're able to then sell a skill set that you possess and not so much a product. Product for $2,000, very, very rare unless you find that hidden gem. So this is just being realistic with you guys. If you have $2,000, the best investment, honestly, it's not related to business, but it's yourself. Invest into yourself, go buy some books, go do some courses, go to some seminars, even pay for a mentoring session, to be honest. Get 2 to 4 hours of mentoring from your favorite mentor. That's worth way more than the business itself actually is, because if you can't afford to do the marketing, you're going to be fucked regardless, and your business is going to go to shit. Your confidence gets shot, and then you're going to be like, oh man, maybe I'm not designed for business. The truth is, you didn't actually even give it a proper shot.
If you've ever wanted to start a clothing company, this is for you. So finding a manufacturer and a partner is the most important thing. As soon as I got done selling our 400 shirts, I said, I'm never making shirts again, and I went and found a good screen printer. He taught me a lot about the correct artwork. That was the same time I had a guy that pretty much sold me JPEGs for $3,000. So that was one of the first times I ever lost money in business, but he taught me a lot, set me up with some good designers. Now down the road, we still use some of those same designers that we've been using for 10 years.
This is what not to do when starting a small business, part 3. Do not pick a random picture for your brand image or logo. I feel like this was my biggest mistake so far because it's not just as simple as changing a profile picture. I had to change my entire design of thank you cards and product tags, as well as all my social media pictures, link trees, Amazon store, and of course my website. I feel like this can hurt my business because it feels like its entire identity is changing and people might not remember me. But I had to do it because it just wasn't me. And I feel like I can get away with it because I'm just starting out and there's still time to make some changes. So welcome to the new and improved Noelle Creates. Let me know what you guys think.
I'm going to teach you how to start a business from your house for around $150 a month. Out the gate, that might sound like a big commitment, but what you got to understand is something like an embroidery machine is basically like a money printer. As you can see in this video, I'm stitching a custom Pikachu hat, but outside of custom work, you could even do things like launch a brand, and sooner or later, before you know it, you ended up with a legit business.
How to start your business at the dollar store. Cheaper than buying in bulk. Only $1. Packing tape. This is your sign to start your business.
Okay, I'm going to be sharing some of my most important market tips. So the first tip is to not bombard your customers when they enter your booth. Simply greeting them and letting them shop I found works best. Next, you want to have a lot of clear pricing signage. So I found that putting signs on each individual item is better than having it all on one board. And then the last tip is to accept multiple forms of payment. A lot of people prefer to pay with a card, so I think having a card reader is essential.
Don't be rude. He touching a milli, yo, Poochie. Doing good, bitch, I'm Gucci. Fly to Asia, he feeding